Last night, my sister leaned back in her chair, scanned the chandelier-lit ceiling, and said, "This place is too expensive for you." She didn't whisper it. She didn't say it gently. She said it the way people say facts, like gravity, like taxes, like something obvious. The waiter heard. The couple at the next table heard. I heard. And I smiled. Because I've learned something about people who underestimate you. They're usually reading an old version of you. But let me start at the beginning. In every family, there's a sun, and then there's everything else orbiting around it. My sister Vanessa was the sun. She walked into rooms and they brightened. Teachers adored her. Neighbors compared their daughters to her. My parents spoke about her the way investors talk about a startup with unlimited potential. She's going places. She's different. She's exceptional. When she brought home a 94, my mom asked, "What happened to the other 6 points?" When I brought home an 88, my dad said, "That's fine." Fine. That word followed me through my entire childhood. Vanessa was excellence. I was fine. It wasn't open cruelty. It was quieter than that. It was, "Why can't you be more organized like Vanessa?" Your sister never talked back. Look how focused she is. I wasn't unfocused. I just wasn't interested in the same things. While Vanessa highlighted textbooks, I watched cooking shows. While she practiced presentations, I practiced knife skills on potatoes. At 14, I could break down a chicken faster than most adults. But nobody clapped for that. Because in my house, cooking wasn't ambition. It was obligation. "You'll cook for your husband one day," my aunt once said. I remember thinking, no, I'll cook for myself. I was 15 when I told my parents I wanted to go to culinary school. Silence. Not angry silence. Worse, disappointed silence. My father cleared his throat. "That's interesting." My mother tried to soften it. "It's a nice hobby." Hobby. Vanessa got SAT prep tutors. I got told to keep options open. At 16, Vanessa got a brand new car. At 16, I got, "We'll see." And we never saw. Senior year, Vanessa had acceptance letters from top business schools. My acceptance letter came from a culinary institute in Chicago. I held it like it was oxygen. My father held it like it was a parking ticket. You're choosing a hard life. No, I was choosing my life. There's a difference. But I didn't argue, because arguing with people who don't believe in you is like watering fake plants. Nothing grows. They didn't refuse to help me. They just didn't offer, which sometimes hurts more. So I worked, double shifts at a diner, burned my hands on fryers, smelled like grease constantly, while Vanessa moved into a dorm with new luggage and a meal plan. She called home to talk about internships. I called home to say I'd made it through another week. Once, during a family dinner, my uncle asked, "So when do you plan on getting a real degree?" I smiled. Because explaining your dreams to people who measure success in salaries is exhausting. Culinary school wasn't romantic. It was sweat. It was screaming chefs. It was standing 14 hours. It was cuts, burns, and blisters. I cried in the walk-in freezer more times than I'll admit. But something happened there. When I plated food, people went quiet. When I combined flavors, instructors leaned in. For the first time in my life, I wasn't fine. I was exceptional. At 25, I moved to New York with $3,200. No safety net, no backup plan, no applause, just hunger. The first job I got? Dishwasher. Vanessa had just posted about becoming a financial analyst. I scrubbed plates while she analyzed portfolios. But here's the difference. She worked for numbers. I worked for mastery. And mastery compounds differently. Prep cook, line cook, sous chef. Every promotion came with scars. I was the only woman in the kitchen for 2 years. I was told, "You're too soft, you're too quiet, you're too emotional." But food listens. Food doesn't care about your gender. It responds to discipline. At 29, I created a dessert that changed everything. It was simple. Dark chocolate, sea salt caramel, olive oil crumble, orange zest foam. A critic from a major publication tasted it. 2 weeks later, we were fully booked. 3 months later, I was offered a partnership. I didn't want investors controlling my vision, so I waited, saved, planned. At 31, I opened my restaurant. 38 seats, open kitchen, warm lighting, no pretension, just story on a plate. And it worked. Word spread, celebrities came quietly, food bloggers raved, reservations filled 2 months out. But at family gatherings, they still asked, how's the job? Job. Not business, not restaurant, not empire, just job. I stopped correcting them. 2 weeks ago, Vanessa texted, I'll be in NYC for a conference. Let's do dinner somewhere nice. Somewhere nice. I sent her my restaurant's name. She replied, looks fancy. Hope it's affordable. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I typed, I think it'll be fine. She arrived 15 minutes late. Designer heels, diamond bracelet, confidence polished to a shine. She looked around. Wow, this is upscale. Then she saw the menu. Her eyebrows lifted. This place is too expensive for you. Not cruel, just certain. I smiled, because confidence without updated information is just outdated arrogance. She loved the appetizers. Tuna this tender? That's rare. She adored the main course. The balance is insane. She closed her eyes at dessert. This chef is brilliant. I watched her compliment me without knowing it. And for the first time, I felt powerful without saying a word. The waiter approached. Vanessa reached for her purse slowly. I guess I'll help you out. The waiter smiled. There's no bill tonight. She frowned. What do you mean? The owner has taken care of it. Pause. Owner? The waiter turned to me. Chef Emma always takes care of her guests. Silence fell like a curtain. Her face changed. Not embarrassment, recalibration. You own this? For 3 years. You never said? You never asked. That landed. The next morning, my father called. I heard about the restaurant. Not, we're proud. Just, I heard. Then, we're proud. Late, but real. My mother cried. Vanessa texted, I underestimated you. No apology, just acknowledgement. And that was enough. You think moments like that feel explosive. They don't. They feel quiet, like setting down a heavy bag you've carried for years. I didn't build the restaurant to prove her wrong. I built it because something inside me refused to stay small. Underestimation is painful, but it's also fuel. Here's what I've learned. Some people freeze you in time. They remember who you were at 17. They don't update the file. But growth doesn't need witnesses. It just needs work. And sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't loud. It doesn't argue. It doesn't scream. It doesn't post. It builds. Quietly. Until one day, the bill comes, and the smile fades. If someone is underestimating you right now, let them. Let them misjudge you. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. Just don't let them stop you. Because one day, you won't need to explain. The room will. So tell me, have you ever been underestimated by someone who should have known you best? Drop your story below. And remember, the best revenge isn't loud. It's successful. And sometimes, it's served with dessert.